What's up everyone, Lion Roar here, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to improve your strategy in Guild Conquest so you can get the best rewards available in Bloodline Heroes of Lithas. But first, download Gemstone Legends, a mobile RPG puzzle match game. Use the link in the description to start with free stuff, including a bonus hero. Alright, so Guild Conquest is one of my favorite game modes in Bloodline Heroes of Lithas, and that's because it's good for both newer players who have weaker teams and veteran players who have more powerful teams. You can have fun no matter what, and you have different roles depending on that, so I'm going to talk about that here today. But when you pop into Guild Conquest, it starts. Make sure you know when it starts so you can build your teams right away and start taking positions. But that's the first thing you're going to do, of course, is to build your teams. And it's PvP, so you're going to have to take that into account and build teams that have good synergy with PvP. I could make 30-minute long videos about team synergy, so I'm not going to dive too deep into that right now, but I'm going to point out what I do, and maybe you can take some advice from that or do your own thing. But one thing I generally do is make sure there's a female Lionstone on every team. I don't care how low level she may be or how many stars or whatever, just get working on some female Lionstones and get them on every team because it's going to make every single one of your teams immediately better. Now, when I am putting together teams as far as team synergy, part of this just has to do with what champions I've acquired and leveled up and everything. But generally, what I like to do is put together one team that is a nuke team. So you can see that's my top team here, and they do so much damage so fast that even though they might have lower defense or lower energy, or not energy, lower HP, there's not time for them to take damage. They basically destroy the other team super fast. My second team is kind of the opposite of that. They don't deal as much damage, but they're more of a crowd control type of team. This isn't super CC, but enough to where I'm delaying the opponent from being able to do what they want to do, and then they're dead before they can even really fire off any of their ults. And then my third team is just made up of a lot of really good damage dealers. Generally, this is more of a sniper team where I've got some marksmen picking off opponents. So that's my team synergy. That's what I like to put together, and I've got female Lionstone for all of them. So you can build teams similar to that. Now, if you don't have enough champions, if you're like brand new, just put one hero in. It doesn't even need to be leveled up or anything because you need all your teams to take as many positions as possible. And so that is where we come to my second piece of advice, which is to assess your team power versus your opponent. So as soon as you start and you get them together, go around and start looking at what is like the level of some of your other teams. So click on your opponents and look at that. See, I can see that this opponent has a lot weaker teams than I have. So I know I'm going to be probably an aggressor here. Yeah, see, look at this. All of these teams are weaker than mine. We got one waiting here at the gate. Yeah, so I'm going to be able to beat a lot of these teams with most of my teams. So I'm going to be a stronger team. Now, if you happen to be a weaker team, if you're a newer player and you're like, man, I cannot beat these teams, don't worry. You have a huge role. So if you're a weaker player, your focus, the entire Guild Conquest, is simply to take open positions. Just go around and look. Like, where are there little towers that don't have anybody in them, and go get them. Like, here's one, right? Now, I'm the purple team. We already took it, so I don't need to go take it. But that's an example of an open tower. Look, here's open towers all over the place here, right? When I'm looking over here at yellow, I can't get in there yet because the gates aren't unlocked, but here's open positions to take. Just go take all the open positions you can. Try not to run into stronger opponents whenever you do it so you don't get sent all the way to the back, but your goal is to take positions. Now, if you're a stronger player, like in this particular match, it's looking like I'm a stronger player, then stronger players are going to focus on offense and defense. They're the ones who are actually going to be fighting. So here's what I'm going to do. If I see that I'm stronger than this team, me and my teammates, my guild mates, who are also stronger, are going to focus on blockading the opponents. What we want to do is build up right around the gates like this. You can see we have a couple strong teams here. That means that the yellow guild, when this gate opens, they can't get out this way. And actually the gate's open for them. They can come out, but we're blocking it because they can't go that direction. Look, here's another team right here. Let's see how strong they are. That's a pretty strong team too. And that means that coming out of this gate, most of the teams in here can't get out. So we're blockading them. They can't take positions. So we're being the aggressor. We're going on offense to take positions. We're fighting teams. When this gate opens up and lets me through, I'm going to come in here and try to wipe out as many of their teams as I can, send them back to the beginning, and then we're going to take this position, this position, this position, and this position. And we are not going to let them play the game. Okay? We want to blockade them for the very end of the match here. And that same thing is true on the other side of the match. Here's the blue team. We're going to come down here and try to take those positions. Now, if you're looking around at the other teams of your opponents and you notice that they're mostly stronger than your guild may not be able to blockade like that, in which case you need to switch to defense. So again, those players with the stronger teams, what you're going to do is try to keep lanes open. So like this gate right here, when it opens up, maybe we put a couple of really strong teams in here. And we might be outnumbered, but if we put a couple strong teams in there, then they might not be able to punch through that. We can at least keep a lane open for our weaker guildmate teams to come through and keep taking positions, because you can win this game mode with weaker teams. You just have to work together and make sure that you know whether you're going to be an offensive aggressor for this matchup or whether you're going to be more defensive and keep lanes open for your teammates. So that's the role there. Now, as you're deciding where to go and what positions to take, I highly recommend that you map out long paths to make the best use of the March acceleration cards. I talked about that in my other video, just kind of like describing all the different buttons and currencies and things like that. But you can see I have 33 March acceleration cards in the upper left-hand corner. So if I want to go somewhere, I want to try to go maybe across the map. Like, see, here's a blue position I could take. So maybe I like click on my team number 2 and I click go to, and I'm going to move pretty far down here. And the reason you want to do that, because I'm going to click confirm, is it's going to take 29 minutes now to get there, 30 minutes. But I can use my March acceleration card and it's going to reduce that time in half. Now it's only going to take 15 minutes to get there. And I can keep using those if I want to. But here's the thing. If I just pick to go from this one tower to this tower and I use a March acceleration card, and then I go from that tower to this tower and then use a March acceleration card and then that one to that one, I'm just wasting March acceleration cards. So try to go across the map and make the most use of your action points as you possibly can. That way you're using the resources to your best ability. Also, set timers and alarms on your phone for when these gates are going to open up. You can see that this gate here is going to open up in 7 hours and 37 minutes. So I have an Apple phone. I just like to tell it, Siri, set my alarm for 7 hours and 37 minutes, and then it will go off. And you want to rush in when that happens. Like, for example, at the very beginning of the game, you're only allowed in your own little base territory here, but when that timer goes off, you want to come out here and take as many of these positions around here that you possibly can. All right. Hey, look at this. They're trying to take some positions here. So I'm actually going to go map out a path. Yeah, that's a 15K power, and we got a couple over here. Yeah, let's do this. Sorry, this is a little random, but they snuck in here when I wasn't looking. So I'm going to go take that. I'm going to go to the gate, and then I'm going to go over here. And I'm going to wait outside. I'm actually going to blockade their position right there, just as an example in real time. Okay, there you go. And I can even, if I want to, speed that up. So there we go. Now it's going to go faster. And that's what I mean about mapping out long paths and using your March acceleration cards the best way possible. Okay, so now I've set my alarm for whenever these gates open. I rush in and take as many positions as possible. What you're going to do then, because you're running out of action points, is just kind of wait and maybe come back in like a half hour or something, maybe an hour, because they're going to start doing the same thing. They're going to come out and take positions. Hopefully you took them first, but they're going to come out and they're going to try to take the positions. But if you've successfully gone in and blockaded them, they have fewer paths. But after they do that, you want to come down here, click recovery, and then you can see that you're able to use amethyst crystals to now restore action points. And you can go take all that land back that they just took. And the people who are more on top of this are going to take more land. If you get blocked in, you're probably going to lose. Still, even if you're going to lose, you should try to take as many positions as possible, because you do build up glory and things like that you want in the store back here. We're going to go to the Conqueror's Exchange, so you can get those amazing Bloodcraft shards for like Sahir or Phoenix, or the original one here, which is Scarlet. And those are really powerful heroes that you can get in this particular game. All right, but that's like the only way to get them, just saying. So that's why you want to build those up. Plus, you get all kinds of great rewards like summons and stuff like that. I mean, just so many free summons through the crystals that you can get. All right, just a couple more things. One is to prioritize the special towers. You can see there's one here. This one, when you have it and you put a champion in it like this, you get more amethyst crystals. Obviously, the more amethyst crystals you have, the more action points or HP you can restore through recovery. So you do want to be claiming those. You can snag some towers that will do things like give you more attack, or like I just took the middle tower here. So that's giving all attributes plus 5%. Yeah, down here, it looks like we have a constitution increased by 10%. Plus, these towers gain more points per minute. So you want to be emphasizing taking those. Even if the other team is stronger, if they're not guarding them, take them, because you get more points and you're making your team stronger by taking those. So it's really important, especially if you're one of the weaker players in the guild with weaker teams. Yeah, just go around the map and take those things, man. You're really helping your team out to do that. And then lastly, the rally troops button. I've mentioned before, I don't know how helpful the rally the troops thing is, but if a guild is really good at working together and they can all be on at the same time, that's a way you can punch through. Like if you're getting blockaded in, rally the troops to take a position that's, you know, right outside your base, so that you can all sneak back through and go take positions. Or let's say that they start to build up a number of their champions or teams at a gate. You can rally the troops to bust on through the gate, get in here, and then blockade their whole base there. So that's pretty much all that I have as far as strategy goes. I hope this was helpful. Certainly feel free to ask any questions or give any further advice or tips that I may not have mentioned in this video in the comments to help the community out. And if you enjoy videos like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification, and I will catch you in the next one.